Hi guys, this is OMGitsNeil, and this is a list of things Infinity Ward need to fix on Modern Warfare. I've just grabbed this game from World War II as a gameplay, just so you've got something to watch in the background. So yeah, here we go. So the first thing I think needs to be fixed is claymores. I'm sure you will all agree that claymores on Modern Warfare are very, very overpowered. The amount of times I've been killed from about 10 meters away by a claymore is unbelievable. The trigger time on them is still, even with the updates, is still very, very quick, and I haven't really had any experience of being able to sprint through a doorway and dodge the claymore like you could in the old games, so you've still got some sort of chance against them. I really think the claymores need to be taken back to how they were on Call of Duty 4 or Modern Warfare 2, where they were still powerful, they still useful for you, but they weren't overpowered. They was very fair in the way they would kill people at a half decent range, and sometimes you couldn't get away from them sprinting around a doorway, but depending on how they were placed, if they weren't placed very well, then you would still be able to get past them, which is, I think, the claymores need to go back to that style. Number 2 is the minimap, the UAV. So, as most of you know, all the previous Call of Duty titles have red dots come up on the radar when the enemy is firing an unsilenced weapon. I think we need to go back to that style, because the compass, I get it, it's not a bad idea, but it's really not very useful. I find it's only sort of good for callouts because it tells you location on the map. Apart from that, I really think that they need to bring the red dots back on the minimap. It's going to discourage camping a bit more, or it's going to force people who want to camp to put silenced weapons on, which means they're at a bit of a disadvantage because they have to use up part of their space in their creator class. Number 3 is one I think you're all going to agree with. It's the 725. There's been 1,000,001 videos about the 725, whether it's showing off that amazingly huge range that it has, or whether it's slating it, saying that it really needs to be nerfed. This, again, yeah, it does need to be nerfed. Personally, I think that it needs an actual range buff, a hitting distance buff. So I think it needs to go back to between the double-barreled shotgun of World at War and the Spaz 12 of Modern Warfare 2. For those of you who remember the Spaz 12, it was a very powerful shotgun. A lot of people said it was overpowered, but it wasn't too bad. You could get in a firefight and still beat it. So I think that's the sort of damage range they need to nerf it back to, so it's a proper Call of Duty shotgun, up close, personal. So it's still useful, but not sniping people across the map, because that's not what a shotgun is for. Number 4, snipers need buffing. And I know what you're going to say. Neil, you're a sniper. You're obviously going to say snipers need buffing. But just hear me out for a second. Because if you look at the time to kill of the assault rifles, the SMGs, even the marksman rifles on Modern Warfare, they all have a very quick time to kill. They're all very fast moving weapons. The aim down sight speeds are very quick. The reloading times are very quick. And then if you go to the sniper class, you'll see that the aim down sight speed is very slow. The bolt time is not the quickest. The movement speed has been heavily slowed down compared to a lot of the old titles. I think to keep the snipers up with the pace of the game, they really need to buff up the movement speed, not dramatically, but just a bit, just so they're a bit more competitive when it comes to sort of mid-range to close-range engagements. I know snipers are meant for long range, but they still need to be slightly competitive at close range, and they need to be competitive at mid-range. Number 5 is the riot shield. It needs to be nerfed, and not nerfed in damage. I understand, like, riot shields. I don't know why they put them in the game, to be honest with you. I think they kill all the pace that any Call of Duty title has. I think they're really annoying. A lot of people will agree, but then there is the small amount of people out there that like to use them. I think that riot shields should not be allowed to be used with overkill, because the amount of times you shoot someone who's got a riot shield on their back and it doesn't connect to the body, it connects to the riot shield, is unbelievable. It's really annoying. It was annoying in World War II. I think they need to get rid of overkill on the riot shields entirely and just have it used with equipment and with secondary weapons. I think that'll balance it out a lot more. It will show the more committed riot shield users who actually enjoy using it as a riot shield and what it's meant to be used for, which is crowd control, as opposed to just having it on their back so they don't get shot from behind. Number 6, Ghost and Cold-Blooded. I think they need to be patched so that when you're using Ghost and Cold-Blooded, if you're not moving, you don't get the effect of the perk. So when there's a UAV up, if you're not moving, you still show on the UAV until you start to move again. This is going to discourage people from sitting in corners with Ghost and Cold-Blooded on, and it will make the game a lot more movement based. I think that is all these little things that could be added, changed in the game are going to help massively, and then we're going to be able to play the maps how they were designed to be played, not by sitting in corners. We're going to see the benefit of the less linear map, is what I believe anyway. So number 7 is the last thing on my list. This is tougher spawns. So I'm sure we can all agree it gets a bit annoying when you as a player alone, you're not in a party, you push towards the enemy spawn, all of a sudden they all just flip to the other side. It's very frustrating. I understand what they're trying to do. They're trying to discourage spawn killing. I get that, but it's very frustrating for players who like to push towards the enemies. As soon as they get there, they flip the spawns and then you get killed from behind. I think it really needs to be sorted out. As well as spawning right at the back of the map gets frustrating when you're having to run for 10 miles before you get into any action and then you just get shot straight away. You spend most of your time running. That can get pretty frustrating. So yeah, leave a like if you agreed with what I had to say. Leave a comment and tell me why if you disagree with what I've had to say. Again, this is just my opinion. This is just what I've seen from playing Modern Warfare and what I think should be done. So yeah, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like. Please leave a comment and tell me why you disagreed, if you did disagree. Also, follow me on Twitch. The link will be down in the description. I stream most days, and I'm going to start uploading a lot more content on YouTube as well. So please make sure to subscribe if you enjoyed the video. I will see you soon. Peace.